What's up, YouTubers? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing well out there. It's 2025 and we're still talking about John Mayer's use of the Tube Screamer. So let's go. Cool. So for today's video, pretty obvious, it's all about Tube Screamer. And maybe I make this the title, maybe not. Unlocking the Tube Screamer sound. That's a good one. You know, I'm a huge John Mayer fan. It's pretty obvious. He's my hero. And a big part of his tone is the Tube Screamer. And I know for a lot of us out there being John Mayer fans, I know myself included, the biggest reason I wanted the Tube Screamer when I first started my guitar playing journey was because of John Mayer. You know, it's a quintessential part of his tone. Why did I want a TS10? Because of John Mayer. You know? And when you pair it with the right rig, you get that sound. And you're hooked. Being in the John Mayer gear world, you know, a lot of people are trying to copy his rig, which is great, you know. And one of the ingredients, obviously, is the Tube Screamer. What I see a lot of the time is the gain high and the volume not super high. And in my opinion, that is holding the signature Tube Screamer tone just a bit back. The Tube Screamer, you know, let's say we talk about the TS10 because that's what I'm using today, does a lot of compression to the sound. So when you play, and I encourage you all to do this, record into your interface and see what happens on the meter when you engage the Tube Screamer volume-wise. Most likely you'll see the volume stays the same even though it's perceived louder, most likely because of the mid boost. But volume-wise, there isn't any jump. So I'd encourage you all to at least have your volume control on your Tube Screamer between 2 and 3 o'clock. Have that volume boost from the gain and the mid frequency, but also have a big volume boost to help eliminate some of the compression factor. Good tone is loud tone. You know, you need that volume boost to get that tone. It's just that simple. If we dive into the playing portion of today's video, let's first talk about the rig. Silver Sky into my TS10, like I mentioned just now, and that's going into my vintage deluxe reverb into my aux box. I know a question will be vintage versus modern deluxe reverb. Yes, it works. You know, EQ wise, I have the volume on the deluxe reverb on 3, treble at 4, bass at 5. Why is my volume on 3 and not higher? Well, because that is, the loudest I believe I should be playing in my apartment when it's not connected to the aux box. Just because you have maybe a attenuation or load box, you don't have to crank the amp. I know on a volume 3 on my deluxe reverb with my Les Paul, I can get it to break up just a bit, so it's perfect. Tone controls, usually I keep my treble and bass at 5, but because the Silver Sky is a pretty bright guitar, I just backed off the treble 1 to treble 4 to sort of make it a bit more even sounding frequency-wise. And then that's going into Luna, and that's what you're hearing. So without further ado, here is my clean tone. Really simple, right? Pretty even sound. Tube Screamer, a big part of it is don't copy John's settings because his environment is different to yours. Use your ear, right? That's probably the most important thing I can say in today's video. Use your ear. So here is, let's say, the intro to Changing. Engage Tube Screamer. Pretty apparent volume jump. Again, here is the beginning part, no Tube Screamer. Adding it in. It's a pretty big volume jump, in my opinion. And I can see it on my screen. What happens now if I keep the gain where it is, but bring back the volume? So now the volume is at 12 o'clock. Here it is off. And turned on. It gets there, right? But it really comes alive when the volume is between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So check this out again. Here is the volume at 3 o'clock. You know? Let's check out one other way to use the Tube Screamer. So now I've just raised the amp volume to volume 4, which on my deluxe reverb is, you know, on the edge of breakup, you know? So here's the tone. A little more alive. I know for a fact if I were to plug in my Les Paul, it would already be breaking up just a bit, which I don't really want with the Silver Sky. I want it to be on the edge of breakup. The Tube Screamer settings that I have now are much more light overdrive. You could probably relate it to, in the John Mayer world at least, a song like Waiting on the World to Change, where you're getting the characteristics of the Tube Screamer tone, but not with a lot of gain, right? You're getting the color mostly. So here is like the solo in Waiting on the World to Change, clean on position 4. If I engage the Tube Screamer now, you'll see the color. To me, I like that tone better. It's much more articulate, and you sort of hear every note that's being played clearly. And that is, you know, really my go-to setting with the Tube Screamer in general. I love the color that it produces, but you don't need a lot of gain. And again, it's all about context. You know, where are you putting this tone? What's the tone you're trying to achieve, etc. It's all subjective. So in conclusion, I hope you enjoyed today's video on unlocking the Tube Screamer sound. Well, all right, guys, that is today's video, unlocking the Tube Screamer sound. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.